I want to know what interested you about this movie.
Quarrel.
It all comes back to Quarrel. It's interesting because they say that derided as a somewhat racist portrayal as Quarrel, but the defenders of that say that Quarrel is everybody's favorite character in this movie. So
Quarrel is easily my favorite character, and Quarrel gets killed.
But he's not in any important scene in the movie.
He's in that scene where he dies.
yeah, he gets killed by a dragon.
He's
Ever heard of
excluded
it?
from every real important signature James Bond scene.
He's in that fight scene with James Bond in the back room of the bar.
Where there's the party where that guy's dancing?
No. Best names ever for a sidekick.
Did a bunch of work in Italy, in Italian art house films. So I guess he was just getting a paycheck in this one.
And where's he originally from? Because he's obviously not Jamaican.
No, he's from the U.S.
That first scene where Bond meets him is great. Appears to be smoking a cigarette. And if you look a little bit closer, you realize the cigarette is actually a prop cigarette that's not lit and is stuck to his cheek.
It's just glued to the side of his mouth. It's the most
So
ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my
He can
life.
completely talk without any hindrance, and cigarette is just stuck to the side of his cheek.
Yeah,
as
and
if
it
no
never-
one would notice that. And then in the next scene, it just disappears.
And if you've ever done some talking to someone with a cigarette in their mouth, the cigarette flaps up and down gloriously.
This one's just jutting
It just
straight
sticks
out.
straight out.
They must have done that because he just couldn't get it right. Because there are plenty of scenes where Sean Connery and a lot of other guys are talking with cigarettes in their mouth. I was really hoping that he would just turn towards the camera and smile really big. And then the cigarette would just kind of like tilt off towards the right. It didn't happen.
They're on such a big production like this. How does something so minor like that, how does that get passed? How does no one say that doesn't look realistic? Why don't we just get rid of the cigarette?
I think a lot of the stuff comes into, at the time they didn't have the capability to play movies in their home, so they couldn't pause it and they couldn't rewind it, and they're all just sitting in theaters watching it or on television.
It just seemed like the easy way would go, just get rid of the cigarette. It wasn't essential to his character.
Get rid of the actor. If it's my film, he's gone.